We've seen them rejoice over this savagery, something that even the Nazis refused to publicize.
Pause.
But
Stop.
they came in these.
This is the prime example of tone deafness that I'm talking about. I'm just even flabbergasted hearing him say it again. Did you hear what he just said? He's the guy that has the IDF with the 72 Virgins TikTok, snuff porn site over on the Telegram, right?
But that's the
and
point.
He's saying even the Nazis wouldn't dance around. He accuses Hamas of dancing around and celebrating when it's his soldiers that are on the record, like at a order of magnitude difference.
It's a pure description of psychological description of Jungian projection in this capacity. So my goodness, the gaslighting going on is of epic proportions, and the projection of, and claiming, and the duplicitous nature of claiming, what you are in fact embodying through your behavior, claiming that of your enemies and accusing that same behavior of your enemies. And that's a very clever tactic. I think clearly
it doesn't work,
the fact
that's my point.
No,
He's like
work.
being clever and it's not
but
fucking
it works
working,
within
man.
But it may work within what they're attempting to do within maintaining power in Israel, because unfortunately it does seem
but he's speaking English. He's not speaking to people in his country. He's speaking to Americans.
That's true. But I think at this point there's no way. I'm not surprised by anything he's saying now. It's just only becoming more grandiose and absurd. And I would anticipate that based on the opening statements, because this shows to me that they have to be clearly aware, since the ICJ ruling and before, of the pushback, the very logical assessment, historical assessment of the situation. What happened in 1967, 1973, what happened with the expansion of the West Bank, what happened with, the right to return, or the march to return, that sort of peaceful march in 2018, and then like the sadistic targeting of Israeli soldiers of disabled peoples in the crowd and stuff like that. And that's not to mention Operation Cast Lead. There's just so many. It's like mind-boggling, right? And so not even invoking this historical context.
It's their protective edge, Tony.
Because they have no argument at this point. You have to really double down. You have to create another reality.
Look, we showed months ago.
Authority. You have to, by the language and that's what they're doing. That's what they're attempting to do.
We showed months ago. They were preparing to take Gaza down 2 years ago when they started taking out the infrastructure of CNN and Al Jazeera and those other
which we covered
big build. Yeah, we covered
on the show. Yeah.
And then November we had an episode called "Welcome to Planet Gaza," because they're going to do this whole thing to the planet, right? And everyone's going to see it. Now you're starting to see most people on the planet, they see what's going on in Gaza. And it's like a game of musical chairs. Everyone has already taken their seat and called out ethnic cleansing. And there's a couple countries like, no, it's not going on. It's not going on. And they keep funding it. And they're funding it with our tax dollars, kids. Which is why I might care about this more than some of the other genocides going on, because I don't have as many tax dollars going to those countries. I have to care proportionally. See, we have a large debt that is being accrued in this Ukraine war and in this Israel war. And they're trying to make these all like, what's in between there? We got Iran, and we're going to pop off a whole bunch of other stuff. That's what the United States is over there
Pakistan,
for. We didn't send the United States Navy over there to, do the Palestinian situation. It's for the Iran, Syria, Jordan, Egypt situation that started in 1967 during the 6-Day War. And you wouldn't have this problem in Gaza because it wasn't part of Israel until that war. If they hadn't bombed the USS Liberty and gotten away with killing dozens of American crewmen as a way to cover up the 6-Day War and actually take the Golan Heights and take Gaza and create the situation we're dealing with today. But that's not something Ben Shapiro is really versed in. It's above his pay grade. So let's go ahead with Bibi.
He's versed in sophistry and building very clever straw.
He's reversed with
clever straw man arguments.
Yeah.
Something that even the Nazis refused to publicize. But they came in, these killers, with GoPro cameras to proclaim to the world, to their people, what kind of cruelty and what kind of inhumanity they were capable of.
Pause it. You guys were just running the 72 Virgins snuff porn site, bro. So I got
So when
that. I almost took this whole video. I didn't have time. I was going to take his video and be like, do one of those, like, I fixed it and repost it and put right beside him. Here's all your people doing all these atrocious things, dressing up like Palestinians, eating their food, doing all this crazy stuff, mocking them, all the stuff you're accusing of the other side. Yes, they might have done that in one or two cases. You guys have tens of thousands of pieces of evidence on your scale that are not being weighed in your conversation, which I find to be very disingenuous.
Yeah, this continual usage, he used this earlier, like these murderers. Now he's saying these killers, these subtle, like, question begging epithets in regards to the, and so a question begging epithet is essentially leading you sort of your witness in a circular, and circular reasoning by accusing him and assuming that
even though he's on
accusation
the
has been
right.
proven true without actually proving it, by qualifying it very cleverly, very subtly. And all these subtle language cues are there to dehumanize those
Hamas,
people, to make them an other, to make it easier to rationalize this type of behavior. It is not easy when you can see, the shared humanity that appeal to universals we talked about with Dave Smith earlier. No, this is the opposite. Let's focus on all the contraries, all the things that make us different and other, in order to, justify in some capacity why they aren't us.
Well,
And
Tony,
it's a dehumanizing tactic that's been done
I
throughout
think
all
what
of
you're
human
saying
history,
there
but
crosses a fine
unfortunately,
line. We have to watch it right there, because if you talk like that, like if if you take away the specialness of that situation, then there's no situation. So it's like you can't take the racism away from a situation that's like based on the racism. Otherwise, that situation is not going to exist. So I don't know. That's not calling for anything, but that's like
yeah. So
river
you
to the
can
sea talk. That's
think
like a
when you
Likud
contrast,
first line in their 77 charter type of statement.
all right, now you
Can't
contrast
take
over
away
the
their raison d'etre.
yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So I
I don't
mean,
speak French.
if you contrast the two, Dave Smith and in this case Netanyahu, you can see a clear difference. Like, one is appealing to humans as humans, one is saying there's killers and murderers, and then there's us, and we're different. And that projection, that unbelievably myopic and ignorant and callous sort of recognition of, and purposeful at this point, especially in regards to what they've had to fight with the ICJ. They know they have the evidence has been brought before them. They know about this evidence, so therefore they were making a choice. They were making a choice not to address the evidence on the table. Instead, they're doubling, tripling, quadrupling down, as mentioned earlier, on using fallacies, misdirect, straw men, red herrings, ad hominems, ad verecundium. They're the good people, so that they appeal to their own authority, and they're the evil ones, ad hominems, and question all these fallacies in order to not address the logical arguments that have been brought before them. And
Hey,
when they
speaking of the
attempt to,
ICJ real quick, because I know people have their hopes up for that, but which Secretary of State trained the American judge on the ICJ?
yeah, no, I went through the judge panels. Yeah, that was something I had been
Lincoln
known.
put her there. It's like, oh, that's surprising. That's so surprising. It's almost like it was premeditated how this is all going to work out.
Plus, they have no weight. Like, at the end of the day, when it's a John Mearsheimer sort of perspective, but what?
Yeah, he's been rocking it lately.
When you look at, like, these nations, like these, Russia or China, it's sort of like it is sort of a Wild West in regards to what could there. It's all about who has dirt on who has leverage on whom, who
It's
has
almost
the
like one
military,
nation under blackmail.
economic. Yeah, exactly.
Only if it
Literally
was the whole world.
So,
yeah. Or just the necessary parts to control the whole world. You don't have to really blackmail the whole world. Just like they don't have to control all the press outlets, just the most influential ones that tell all the other ones what to say. Exactly. As of 1917, Oscar Callaway. That's the reference. All right, let's go back to Bibi, because we're not done with him yet.
With fiendish glee, they showed this murderous, horrible action that puts us in front of a huge challenge. And our challenge and our goal can be summarized in 2 words: total victory. Total victory against these savages. It's not just our battle.
They're savages,
it's not
everyone.
just our battle, it's the battle of civilization.
Another subtle appeal.
Oh, it's everyone's battle. Stop. Hold on. It is everyone's battle. We're all in it together. Tax dollar wise. certainly up to our eyeballs in it so far. Because, you know, America, we just had so much extra that let's just give away like $500 billion to Ukraine and Israel. No problem. We'll just charge our future generations for it. They thank you guys for that. What the fuck's going on here? Has anyone checked on who's running this place? Biden's not running this place. They just said the guy's non-compos mentis, but he's still got the red nuclear button. If you think that's what really goes on, you need to level up. Level up. You deserve better. You need to be able to dispel confusion. You're not getting it. All right. I don't want to, we don't have time to let the whole Bibi clip because we could go at this, you know, for a long time. Let's play a couple more seconds and see if we can get through a sentence.
In 2 words, total victory. Total victory against these savages. It's not just our battle. It's not just our battle. It's the battle of civilization against barbarism. Because if Hamas gets away with this, if the axis of evil and terror that Iran dominates in this world, or seeks to dominate, the Middle East, it will expand everywhere. And so this is a battle that is important for Israel's future and our survival, but it's also critical for the future of civilization. So we set
he talks about it like
goal,
it's a World War
total-
Z situation and he's trying to stop the zombie plague. And we should help him. Sounds like a good cause the way he puts it. If you don't
It's
check
a false
what he's saying,
dichotomy. He's saying it's either like, you know, yeah, you sort of like support this side, or it's either you support civilization or you support, you know, the disintegration of civilization and terrorist rogue states.
I like the
that's
way
basically
W
what
put
he's
it.
saying. It's like it's you're either with them, or, yeah, because I use the W1 in my
Yeah, you're either with us
my
or you're with the
logic course.
terrorists.
Right? Yeah, that one was easy, right? It's funny, if I had to redo my logic course, it'd be so easy now. It would literally, I could just for the fallacies, I could do like weeks and weeks. Thanks to these guys, they make it too easy. The level of well, not even sophistry.
It would make
it's
learning
not even
about
clever.
fallacies so much more interesting.
It would certainly be sad.
These cunning attempts to deceive you actually kill
hilarious.
millions of people.
Yeah.
Let's learn about that stuff, right? Who
This
cares
is the way
about
they
us?
use words in
Like,
order to justify the murder of individuals.
look, there's what they want to feed you to make you wither and die. And there's what you need to feed yourself to discover their lies. I almost got that to rhyme. Almost. Gotta wake up earlier to get the rhymes.
How much more?
I had something to say about the Jay-Z earlier on the Twitter,
yeah?
and I did
Yeah.
make it rhyme. But might be Abramovich related now that I think about such things.
Yeah, Jay-Z for sure. Yeah.
They might have done some spirit cooking together once upon a time.
He's had a lot of very interesting accusations made against him about some of the activities that goes on at his parties, but I'll leave that to speculation.
All right, I feel like I'm punching down by dealing with this Bibi clip.
Yeah, we know what it is at this
I wish
point.
him well. He's already dug his own, so
Yeah,
we'll
I mean,
just
there's
leave
right
him-
now
leave him
riots.
to it.
I guess while that's going on, there are, not riots, but there's demonstrations. It's,
They
a
have
couple
there's
thousand
settlers
seen.
in front of his house fighting. Left-wing settlers versus right-wing settlers in front of Bibi's house. Like they're
Wow.
so it's getting real over there.